We're here today with Cyndi Greenglass. She's the instructor for the DMC 680 Digital or Data Marketing Communications Campaigns course. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Cyndi, about the course and your experience as an instructor. So to begin, if you could just take a couple of minutes to tell us about your professional experience and your career achievements so far.
Oh, Chad, well, thank you. I've had the good fortune of enjoying a very diverse career where I have worked in, I didn't start out as a marketing professional. I actually started out in international business, working in government for the U.S. Foreign Commercial Service. And when I was doing that, had the opportunity to meet and be trained in early database marketing, when database systems were first coming online, and even the internet was relatively new as a source for information. And I fell in love with data and analytics and the way that you can use information to make decisions. And we used to use it in the U.S. Foreign Commercial Service to identify businesses around the world that we wanted to partner with and help support for U.S. business development. And that started by passion for data that then turned into an opportunity for me to start to launch some new businesses. I've done 3 startups. I did a data business, specifically in an agency environment, and then launched 2 integrated marketing communications companies. And while I'm, consider myself passionate about the role of data and storytelling, I'm really passionate about marketing in general. And so my career has allowed me to build integrated marketing communications with a focus on using data to inform you for decision making. So that's, the journey I've been on. It's been a great one, and it's wonderful to bring that to WVU and to be able to share that experience with my students so I can infuse our conversations with what I've seen and worked with my colleagues and fellow professionals over the years.
You were instrumental in the development of the data marketing communications program here at WVU, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. What about the program now? It's been about 5 years since we were really actively engaged in the development. What are you most proud of? What do you see as being some of the key accomplishments or achievements of the program?
I'm so proud to have been part of the development of a new program from scratch. So Chad, I have to start there. I'm an alum and graduate of the IMC program, and having gone through that program, which is an outstanding program, but saying, there are individuals like myself that have more of that data decision in their background, or have a role in a company where I need to understand data more. I don't want to have to dig into it and write SaaS programs and all that, but I need to understand it because I'm making those decisions in my role. It was wonderful to be part of the curriculum development. I would say some of the milestones that I am most proud of is that I think almost half the faculty are alumni and graduates of the DMC program now. And I'm so proud to see students who came through the program. They are exceptional, and that they have wanted to be participating as practitioner academics and instructors in the program. And that, that gives me great pride to see them when I see them now in the faculty.
So what do you personally enjoy most about teaching the DMC campaigns or 680 campaigns class?
I really like to see how far they've come from the very beginning. You join the class at the very start of your master's degree. You're not really sure what it's even like to be in master's classes, what is expected of you. The caliber of the students are fantastic, but as you go through each course, you get better and better and refine your skills. And when you get to capstone, this is your opportunity to really shine. Now you can bring it all together. Everything that you've heard and learned and thought about over the year that you've been going through these programs, come together and share. In addition, we really encourage them, the students, to bring their professional experience to this course too. So they talk about what they're doing at work, and they talk about how what they do every day really has benefited them from the courses. Like I have students who say, every day I take something from a discussion or a communication through the course of this program back to work with me, which is exceptional value for them.
So speaking of that, are there a couple of key things that students do in DMC 680 that they can apply immediately in their careers?
Yeah, so there are a few things. So the structure of this class is different than what they will have experienced as they lead up to it. So you're going to learn disciplines and specific, maybe tactical or practical applications all throughout. So it's not unique because you'll have already been learning all along. But what is unique is this is campaign based from start to finish. We take a single company and we dissect them from beginning to end through addressable marketing, targeting, segmentation, research as far as primary and secondary research. A lot of the students have said they've never had the ability to create from scratch a quantitative survey and do quant research from scratch. And they develop that from scratch, they implement it in market, and they analyze it, and they learn like, oh, I never knew what went into doing surveying. I never understood how that information and how I model that changes my opinions. I learn about bias in quantitative research, as well as how framing affects my opinions and direction in marketing. And then we take it all the way through to a campaign. You do your media selection and then your KPIs, key performance indicators. What am I going to use to measure the success, and what does success look like in my campaign? And what many students say is they take that directly into their jobs to say, now I understand. I can't just say I want to do a social media campaign and I'm going to get a lot of likes. I'm going to grow my awareness. They understand that it's not acceptable for us as marketers not to have measurable outcomes and be able to say, this is what success will look like. And if I achieve this, I will have been successful. And they get over the fear of that when they go back into the office or work with colleagues. So they're like, first I understand the language, but now I'm not afraid to say, I'm going to measure myself this way for this campaign. And I'm going to stand up in front of my peers or even my boss and say, the outcome of this program that I did for you was this measurement.
So what do you think is the most challenging aspect of the DMC 680 campaigns course?
What's the most challenging aspect of it? I think it's that I do challenge the students to put together an entire marketing campaign for the case. Okay, it's a real company in market. And so we build from audience identification and targeting through research, primary, secondary, and then we build personas. And then I say, what would you do with a $2 million budget for this client? Pick your media, pick your channels, build a campaign. And I think it challenges many of our students because frankly, they haven't had the opportunity to really do that yet in their career. So I say, this is your first time thinking about it holistically, bringing the pieces together like Lego pieces. But I also think that it is the most proud moment for them because they actually now, if they go to look for a job or they go to apply for a promotion or a new position in their own company, they may never have had that experience, but they do now because that capstone is actually a campaign that they can be proud to show a future employer or even their current employer why they're ready for the next step in their career. So challenging, yes. Proud moment, yes.
Great. So when students are planning their course schedule, they often ask us about workload intensity. They want to be able to prepare mentally and balance all of the other things that they have, all their other responsibilities in life. So on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the least intense and 5 being the most intense, how would you rate the DMC 680 campaigns course, and what made you give it that intensity rating?
You know, I actually would give it a rating of 3 as far as workload goes, because you've already gone through semesters where you had double load. And this is, you only have to focus on one class, and this is the only class. And because of that, I think that makes it easier because all of your focus is on the capstone. Sort of like when you started, when you had the intro class, but the intro class is so much more intense because you're learning eCampus and you're learning all of the ropes about being a master's student and the expectations. You're now, you understand all the expectations. You're in the system. You know what is expected of you. You know the cadence of the class and everything. So it makes it easier from that standpoint. At the same time, we match the discussion with the assignment. And because you get to float your ideas in the discussion with your peers, you can take what you learn from myself, from your peers, and what you research and articulate in the discussion, and then use that and put it in a more academic assignment. So you're borrowing and learning, and the two match each other very nicely, which means you're not having the same primary effort that you have to do both through all your discussions and then do a brand new different set for your assignments.
So what are the most important things that you think a DMC student needs to do in order to be successful in DMC 680 campaign?
To be successful in this capstone program, first you should bring your passion and your enthusiasm and your feel great about the fact that you are coming to the end of your program. This is a really great opportunity to bring it all together for you. It is hard because you're right at the end and you know you get a little bit of that senioritis, right? Like you want to be done, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you still gotta, you know, keep your focus and discipline. So the best thing you can do is keep focused on knowing you are almost there, but don't give up on it now. Get the most that you can from your peers that you are in the class with, and in addition to the workload you have and sharing the assignments and the work that we expect, make sure that you are networking with your peers, because this is the last opportunity that you will have in this program to engage with them. So make sure you get the most out of that. It will help you when you move on to your what is next in your network.
So as the capstone instructor, I'm sure you've kept in touch with past students that have leveraged their academic achievement to grow their career. Can you share a story or anecdote about a past student that has used their data marketing communications master's degree to help shape or change their career path?
Yes, I am so proud of the many students who have gone on to use DMC for the career development. I have had students ask me to be references for them as they've applied for positions. I've had students reach out to me who have said, if it wasn't for what I learned in the campaigns course, I never would have got this position that I have today. I have a student who just reached out to me who didn't know what to do, and COVID was really tough. Wanted to make a pivot in her career, had been working in healthcare and really wanted to pivot away from it. It was a time that she wasn't sure what direction to go. She took some time and applied for different positions in marketing. And she said, if I hadn't done the DMC program, I don't know that I would have been able to focus on where I think I would be most successful. And she credits the DMC program for finally getting the position that she thinks she really wants and will be successful at. And she got the job.
That's fantastic. So, Cyndi, what is your personal teaching style? Like, how do you meaningfully engage with students in your courses?
I am very collaborative in my class. I post my own, just like the students have to do a discussion post every week. I'm a student in the class. I post a discussion. I encourage the students to respond to my discussion post as they post responses to their fellow students. I love to see those threads grow equally with mine as they do with theirs. I'm a very enthusiastic and passionate learner. I'm a lifelong learner, and I learn from them as much as I hope they'll learn from each other, and they'll learn from me. So, my style is maybe not as casual as some of the other instructors. I am a more serious, I'm disciplined, and you may think I'm a little more structured. I give deep and insightful insights and comments in their papers and assignments, because I think it's really important. If you put the work into the assignment, then you deserve for me to put the work into my assessment of it and my comments and insights out of it. So it's a two-way collaboration. But I will say I have high expectations, because I have high expectations of myself. I don't expect any less of the students than I would expect and did expect of myself when I was a student. I want their work to be master's grade. I want their work to be what they are proud of and that they would turn in. And I want them to look at it and say, would you do this for a customer? Would this be work that you'd be pleased and would be acceptable in a job? Because think about everything you're doing at this stage of the program is going to reflect on you. So if it doesn't reflect well on you now, think about the impact that that's going to have when you are not, if you're not in the business world today, or if you are, how that'll negatively impact you. So I do expect them to bring their A game. I assume every one of them is capable of an A. And my expectation is that they will bring their A game to this class every single week.
So what has been your favorite aspect of teaching in WVU's online marketing communications graduate programs?
There is so much I like about this program, and all of the I loved being a student in the IMC program when I took it, because I learned so much about other disciplines that I really had no experience in. And in the DMC program, the students have that same ability to learn about things they don't know anything about, and they may think they aren't going to use, but they really are opening their minds to different disciplines that down the road may become important in business to them, in their careers and in their life. I really enjoy the network that I have built with both the students and the faculty. The faculty is like one really big extended family, truly is. We share each other's successes in life. We've been to each other's weddings. We've seen them have children. We've seen them retire, go through good times and hard times. With our students, we've been there for each other during difficult times too. I really like how the students support each other when they're going through tough times. In the discussion posts, they'll even share about loss they've had or difficulties they've had. And it's so encouraging to see how they help each other and support each other, that this is like this is the Mountaineer family. And that really makes you feel you're not alone. You really do have a family here when you come through this program.
I really appreciate you saying that. That's one of the things that I think that people, they assume online is impersonal, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. I think you can make such a deep connection with people in programs like ours. So the final question is a simple one. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to share about your experience as an instructor or the DMC 680 campaigns course?
I would really like to thank the WVU faculty and the WVU administration. I do have the opportunity to participate in other institutions and have been asked to teach in other programs and with other institutions. And I can say without a doubt that the WVU program is the finest of the institutions that I work with. They are passionate about what they want to deliver to the students, exceptionally well organized, very professional, and deliver an outstanding academic experience, better than I think our students would experience or could experience in almost any other program in this country.
Thank you very much, Cyndi, for taking time today to share your experience. And I appreciate, as always, your continued support and dedication to our students. Thank you.
It's an honor and privilege.